Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dicta, by the way, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about something very important, something I realized a lot of people don't talk about unless it happens, and that is death. I thought it would be very thoughtful to do a video talking about death and how we can handle it, since a lot of people don't really talk about that subject unless it happens. So in this video I categorized my points in 4 main sections, and then the first section is dealing with the death of a loved one. Let's say you lost your parent, your relative, your sibling, how you would deal with that, how you will explain the concept of death to children. That is, if children are involved, let's say they lost their parent or a sibling or a relative, anybody at all. And then the third point is how you can treat or handle people who are going through the mourning process. Most of the times we don't know how to react when someone dies. So how we can treat our friends and loved ones who are going through the mourning process. And the last one is how we will handle things of sentimental value of the person who has just passed away. So these are the 4 main points I'm going to be talking about, and I don't want my video to be too long because people have short attention spans of late. So I'm going to talk about them in sections in various videos. So in this particular video I'm just going to talk about how we can deal with the whole issue of how to handle the feelings that come with losing a loved one. So how we can deal with losing a loved one, that is what I'm going to talk about in this video, and then I'm going to elaborate more in my subsequent videos. So firstly, when it comes with dealing with death, I want you to know that your feelings of grief are perfectly normal. When you hear the news, the feelings and emotions you go through are perfectly normal and common. Most of the times you'll be in denial and then in shock, and this normally happens when you had an encounter with a person recently. Probably you talked to the person on the phone an hour ago or 2 days ago, or probably you saw them just this morning, and then you feel like, no, this can't be possible, and then you'll be in shock and in denial. Another feeling that can go through you is you start to rationalize and bargain. This normally happens when the person died by an accident, or maybe they got sick or something. You start to bargain and rationalize that if I had done this, if the doctor had done that, probably the person would have been alive. And that is perfectly normal as well. And then you start to have regret for any bad experiences you had with the person. Probably you had an argument with a person, you had a back and forth with a person who has just died. It's perfectly normal for you to regret and feel bad for all those incidences that happened between the two of you. And then you realize that you become depressed, and then anger will set in. All these emotions are perfectly normal and they are part of the grieving process. So you have to make time to process the pain. Don't shut them out because they will creep up to you if you don't. Most of the times when people are in charge of funeral arrangements, let's say you are the father, the mother, or the eldest child alive, or maybe the head of the family, you have a lot going on. People are coming over to the house, you are doing funeral arrangements and stuff. You don't really take time to process what is happening. So when everything is over, when the funeral is over, that is when your feelings will creep in, because people will stop visiting, and that is when you realize that no, this is really real. And that is when your emotions will creep in, and it's very harmful at that time, because most of the time people stop supporting after the funeral is over. So it's very important that you deal with your emotions earlier on than later on. Also, one thing you should do is that think of positive ways to remember the person who has died. As I already said, don't brood on the negative experiences you had with the person. Whatever happened for the best. So think of positive ways to remember the person, the good times you had with the person, and this is really going to help you in handling the whole process. It's going to really help you. So the next thing you're going to do is that you have to try to accept help from friends and family. When people die, most of the times friends and family or sympathizers don't know how to react. So what they will do is they will just show up at the house, and when they do, accept their help. Whatever they want to do for you, let them do them for you. If you feel like being alone, tell them. Real friends and family will understand that there are going to be times you will need them by your side, and there are times you would want to be alone, and they'll be very supportive and understanding of what you're going through. We all have ways of grieving, so people who really care about you will understand what you're going through, and they'll get to know that there are times you will just want to be alone, and there are times you will need them by their side. Also, remember that there's no right way to grieve, so don't fall into the trap of so-called guidelines as to how you can move on. No, process things your own way, how you want to process them, because we are all individually different. Now, gradually move on with your life slowly. Don't rush the process. Move on with your life when you are ready to move on with it. That is, if you're a student, you're a worker, whatever it is that you do, move on with your life slowly. Don't rush the process, and always remember to set anniversary traditions to help you deal with the death every year round. Let's say the person you loved died on the 10th of June. Remember that there are always going to be 10th of Junes in every single year. So in order for you to be able to handle the death very well, try as much as possible to set traditions. It can be you going to the grave, you organizing a memorial, or even you going on a trip. It can be anything at all that can help you handle the death, anniversary coming up to you again in another year. And also you can join support groups or talk to a therapist if the pain you feel becomes very, very unbearable. And this normally happens when the person who died was very, very close to you. Let's say it was your mother, your father, your sibling, your child, or even your spouse. This is very, very painful, and when you realize that you are having a hard time dealing with emotions, don't feel shy to join support groups or talk to a therapist. It's really going to help you deal with all of that. So this is the first section of my video, as I already said from the beginning, and I hope you found this video very, very helpful. This is just the first part on how you deal with the death of a loved one. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about how you will explain the death to children, that is, if children are involved. So if you loved this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss my subsequent videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.